Okay, so last month Samantha and I made a laser engraved Halloween project idea video, and it was like a little bit of a competition.
Who won? Mom or Dada?
No! That's right! It was not, it wasn't even that close, honestly. I was the best.
So this month we're going to be doing the same style video, but I'm going to be taking over all the projects and the video. I feel like we can all say this. As kids, as soon as Halloween was over, the countdown for Christmas begins. For that reason, my first project is going to be a nice little Christmas countdown sign so that my kids know exactly when Christmas will be here. When I was designing this file, the basic idea was that the center of my wreath would be white acrylic so that it was easily erasable and we could just continue to write in and erase the days as we counted down till Christmas. I chose the phrase sleeps until Christmas because our kids still don't quite understand the concept of days, and I thought this was a more simplified way to explain it to them and they would just understand it a lot better. The last thing I had to do was create a foot for the sign so that it would be self-standing and overall easier to decorate with. And now we have a quick and easy daily activity for our girl, and we know exactly how many days there are until Christmas.
How many days till Christmas?
39.
All right.
For the next project, I feel like I kind of have to go with the obvious here, and those are ornaments. For my gingerbread ornaments, I engraved all of the gingerbread details onto some brown acrylic, and then I cut out my gingerbread shape. I did the paint pen technique where I just left my paper masking on the acrylic and I colored in any engraved areas with a paint pen. And then as soon as the paint was dry, I peeled off my paper masking and it left some really clean paint lines on my acrylic. I really like this technique because it still leaves me with one layer of acrylic, but I still get all of the benefits of having different colors and dimensions on my project. After that, I cut out my kiddos' names on some colored acrylic and then just glued it right on top. And then all we had to do was string it up and it was ready for the tree. What I love about making ornaments on the laser is that you can customize them and personalize them as much as you want. We've got a few craft shows coming up, so I think I'm gonna make some family name ornaments that I think will sell really well. So I designed this ornament in the XDS software and I just engraved it and cut it out on some clear acrylic. I cut out a slot at the top of the ornament so that I could easily thread a piece of velvet ribbon through it. And I really, really love how these ones turned out.
Get miss. Get miss.
This project is meant to give a little bit more purpose to gift giving, and they are flawlessly named purposeful gift tags. The basic concept is that you have 4 items that you need to pick and they all have a specific purpose. So something you want, something you need, something to wear, something to read. These were super easy to make. All I did was create a gift tag shape in the XDS software and then I engraved it and cut it out on the P2S. And then I threaded some ribbon through them so that I could tie them to any presents. What I really liked about these is they gave me a little bit more direction as I was purchasing gifts for everybody, and they are reusable, so you can use them year after year. And for that reason, I also made a few to sell at our upcoming craft show.
All right, you really thought you could get rid of me? This is my channel, okay? I know my wife's doing a great job here, but I wanted to interject and take 1 or 2 projects off her hands. This next project is gonna involve a little bit of woodworking. So, you know, that's my specialty. That's why I'm here. We're gonna be doing a big piece of wall art that is definitely one of the best ways you can get in the Christmas spirit. So the first thing I did was rip up some white oak because I wanted it to have a nice rustic Christmas feel to it. I don't know how to explain it. White oak seems Christmassy. Then I painted a piece of scrap plywood white because obviously white is also Christmassy. Then I just handed the camera over to Colby and tacked the trim on that white piece of plywood. Alright, because this file is so big, I had to cut it in 2 separate pieces. This is the bottom portion of the image. I'm going to try to weed out all these letters and set them aside so I don't lose any of the little small pieces like, you know, the I from the word Christmas and stuff like that. And I'm going with green, sage green for these Christmas trees. I'm going to do the sage green on this tree in the back and probably do the rest of the truck red and maybe a nice fancy star on top. For all my parts and pieces, I just used CA glue, and I laid the actual offcut from the laser down on my frame. That way everything was exactly where it needed to be. Ooh, it's beautiful. This project is frustrating me. I got some of my measurements wrong. I lost some letters. And then the reason this whole thing is red is because I dropped a can of spray paint and it exploded everywhere. Oh no, I got spray paint on the wall. And on my legs! Maybe I shouldn't have been involved in this video. Even though everything was a little frustrating with this project, I think it came out great. I always like these business style designs, and I'm really happy with the way this one came out. The reason that Samantha is doing most of the projects on this list is, number one, she's way better at the design stuff than I am. Number two, she quit her job, so we're trying to supplement her income by doing laser design files and stuff like that, and I want to get her more involved in my content anyways. If you want to support her work on all of these files, go down to the description of this video. We'll have a link for every single one that she personally designed herself.
Every Christmas season, we just keep adding another member to the family. And so for the past 3 years, I've made this same item, and those are stocking tags. This year, I'm putting a little bit of a spin on it, and I'm gonna be using some acrylic now that we have our Xtal P2S. The hardest part about making these stocking tags is always just choosing a font that you really like. Once I chose my font, I just threw an outline on it in the XCS software, and I decided I wanted these to be a little bit more of a mixed medium. So for the outline, I cut it out in wood and gave it a little bit of a stain. And then for the font, I cut it out in some red acrylic. Once they were glued together, we used some twine so that we could string them up with our stockings. And hopefully next year, we don't have to make a new set of these. This would not be a Christmas decor video if we did not include a Christmas door hanger. I cut out my door sign on some 1/4-inch wood, and I decided to finish it off with a combination of stain and paint. Once my lettering was cut out and glued on, I decided I wanted to stick with the classic Christmas colors, so I picked up this red and green ribbon from Hobby Lobby just so I could make a quick bow to top it all off. Changing the door hanger around here always marks a new season for us, so now we can officially say we are getting in the Christmas spirit. If you did not already know, I am not a woodworker. I am, however, a sewist. So this project in particular is a little bit niche to my specific talents, and that is a basic Christmas sweatshirt. So lucky for me, I had a bunch of Christmas fabric left over from last year. So I went and picked out my favorites, and then I ironed some heat and bond onto the back of my fabric. Then I took it over to my laser and I cut out the letters that I wanted. Once the letters were all cut, I just peeled the backing off of my fabric and then ironed them straight onto my sweatshirt. Once those letters were ironed on, I could take it over to my sewing machine and sew around the edges of each layer just to give it more of an embroidered look. After all the letters were sewn on, all I had to do was trim my threads, and I have a new Christmas sweater to wear around for the season. So one of my absolute favorite parts of the Christmas season are attending all of the Christmas parties. For that reason, I wanted to make something that would give you the opportunity to add a little bit of pizzazz to all of your Christmas parties or events. These Christmas drink stirrers were by far the easiest item to design and cut out on this project list. I just chose whatever design I wanted to be at the top of my drink stirrer, and then I added a long stir stick to be cut out in conjunction with the design. I used the same paint pen technique on these drink stirrers just to give my design a little bit more personality. And once they were cut out, it was as simple as pulling the masking off, and they were ready to be used at any Christmas party or event this season. So I've got to be honest with you guys, I don't think I remember a Christmas as an adult where I did not gift somebody a gift card. This year I wanted to make that gift a little bit more personal, a little bit more meaningful, so I decided to make a few different custom gift card holders. I personally have been experimenting a ton with cardstock on our new laser, so I thought this was the perfect opportunity to showcase how you could possibly use that material for your projects. After all your materials are picked, it really is as easy as cutting out your design and just gluing it all together. I used a few pieces of mounting tape to make the slot for the gift card to sit in, and then I glued a piece of ribbon on the back so that we could hang it on the tree for easy gifting on Christmas morning.
I'm back. This next idea I have might be the easiest design on the list. If you really want to get into the whimsical Christmas spirit, you need to make sure that Santa's footprints are visible all around your house. And with this file that I have, we're gonna make that happen. I'm using an 1/8 inch piece of MDF for this project, but I think you could probably use literally any material at all. Cardboard, 1/4 inch plywood, something like that, because it literally is a stencil, and you're gonna dust some flour on it so that it looks like snow and snow tracks coming through your house. Look at that, just like that. You could have cut it out of anything that you have. Very, very simple project. It's done in minutes, and now I just need to go place this on the floor and sprinkle a little bit of flour inside of these footprints. If you're the type of family with an elf on the shelf and reindeers on your roof, and you really, really want to get into the illusion that Santa is real, this is one of the best ways to do that. And, you know, like I said, it's super easy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave in the comment section down below all kinds of compliments and tell my wife how great she did. If you're interested in any of the tools we use, like the X-Tool P2S, or all of the materials we used, I'll leave links for those things in the description down below. If you watched this video and thought to yourself, man, that was so good, how can I give this guy money to repay him? Then you're in luck. I have a lot of stuff listed on my Etsy store that you can buy to support the channel, so head on over to reformationwoodshop.etsy.com to grab something.